This is Patricia Stepp with your Dream Power. So, were you able to guess what commodity it is that has the biggest impact in your life? If you said money, you're exactly right. Whether we want to believe it or not, money impacts our life in so many ways. Well, why is that? Well, because whether we want to admit it or not, we have to have money to do things in today's society. And until that changes, money becomes a great commodity. Do you know that 95% of people will settle for less than what they could actually have, and yet they'll wish for more? You know, you've heard about the 5%, right? Well, there's 5% of people have figured out that money is not an evil thing. Money is a necessity. And so they have shifted their thoughts about money so that it enables them to attract an abundance. Whereas 95% of people wish for money, but don't believe that they'll ever have it. And so therefore they actually keep money from coming to their life. You know, we have to keep in mind that money's a servant. It should never be the master. It should never control us. It's always the servant, the thing that we want to control. But we have to realize that money has to be earned and money has to circulate. You know, Bob Proctor's book, You Were Born Rich, he talks about a neighbor of theirs that he knew when he was growing up back in the 1930s. This neighbor lived like a pauper. He saved everything. He would go around picking up other people's trash and finding some use for it. Well, after he died and they went to clean out his house, they found that he had over $100,000. Now, keep in mind, that was 1930. That was a lot of money. So he had all this money just sitting in his house. It wasn't earning interest. It wasn't helping anybody. And he just squandered it. And all those years where he lived like he had no money, he could have enjoyed himself. He could have maybe started a business and hired other people and helped others. But instead, he chose to squander that money. And so all this money he had when he died benefited nobody. You know, we're not here to squander money. We're here to keep it in circulation. So what I want you to do is start visualizing yourself as having money and not being afraid to talk about it. Do you know that people who do not have money tend to not want to talk about having money? But people that have great wealth, they have no trouble talking about money. Now, you might say, well, that's because they have it. Well, why do they have it? Because they're not afraid. You see, you have to start seeing yourself with the money that you desire. Build the image in your mind, just like an inventor. I keep trying to get this into people's mind. Your imagination works just like an inventor's imagination works. So you build the picture in your mind of what it is that you desire, and you keep focused on it. Any great inventor will do that. They'll build this picture of what they want to solve, what problem it is they're solving for society. And then they'll start focusing on that. And as they focus on it, they get ideas. Well, that's what I want you to do. But I want you to get those ideas of how you could earn money. You see, when we constantly look at what we lack, we continue to bring lack into our lives. But when we start to focus on, well, how could we make this happen? It just changes your whole energy. I just felt it changing my own energy as I said that. When we start to focus on what we really want, it changes your energy. When it changes your energy, it also changes your action. And now you're looking at ways to make something happen instead of thinking about, oh, here it is again, the end of the month, and I have no money. Now, some of those thoughts, you know, are generational and they're ingrained. So we have to learn to shift our mindset and our thoughts and not listen to people who will deflate us. I'm sure you've had this happen. You're talking to somebody and they're just very negative, or they have just a like down feeling, and you can just feel your whole energy just being sucked right out of you. Well, when that happens, you need to change either the topic or change who you're talking to and get out of that situation so you're not deflated, because that won't do you or that person any good. You're just feeding into their feelings, and we don't want to do that. So I want you to start surrounding yourself with abundance and realize that there's plenty out there for you. And it's just a matter of you deciding to reach out and take what it is that you want. But we have to start opening our mind to the stream of energy that will come to us when we start thinking abundantly. So it all starts with the thoughts that are in your mind. So if you want to learn more about how to change those thoughts, I put a link in here to my event next week called Live Bigger. And it's going to be from May 24th to 26th. And I'm super excited because what I've discovered is there's 3 things that you need in order to have that abundant lifestyle. And they sort of have to happen at the same time. So we have to start to eliminate those limiting beliefs and figure out what's holding us back. Why do we have those limiting beliefs, and what we can do about them? Then we have to start building the image, because we can never overcome the image that we hold of ourselves. So we have to start building the image of the person that will be able to obtain the goal that we have. And then we have to start eliminating that comfort zone problem where we don't want to reach out and do anything new and different. So we're going to go through all that. We're going to peel back that onion and find out what's holding you back. And then we're going to build you a 90-day plan so that you can actually become the person and get out of your comfort zone and have a plan of action for the next 90 days that will give you maybe more progress than you've had in a whole year. So I'd love to see you at the event. Register for that event, and I'll see you next week at Live Bigger event. This is Patricia Stepp with your Dream Power. Be the magic in your dreams.